All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. I am here with the multi-time flag football champion, my guy, Daniel. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, this was a big week. Football, man.
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of good games. I mean, this is probably one of the best weeks we're gonna have until it's time to like teams clinching for the seeding in the playoffs and stuff like that.
I was just gonna say it's
So
definitely better than probably what next week will be, unless
yeah,
somebody
I'm not.
somebody comes
We
out of
probably gonna have
nowhere.
a real short week next week talking about them games, unless the Bills lose to the Broncos or something like
I was
that.
about to
Like,
say
and
it's
then it's
about
just like,
3 games that even look worthy to watch. Everything else is just
yeah,
piecing together. But let's get into it. Week 9 is in the books. And
yes, sir.
what was this? Was this Monday night? Sunday night? Monday night? Either way, the Cowboys faced off against the Eagles, and the Eagles once again, like majority of their games this season, just squeak by, do just enough to win. 23-28 Eagles take the dub. And my main take, I just wanted to bring this game up because I have to say again, well, first off, let me start here. Dak was really good. Dak had
Yeah.
375, 3 touchdowns, no picks,
Hmm.
had like a passer rating over 100. He played great. You could say. But of course, the Cowboys do Cowboys things, and at the worst possible moment, the worst things happen. Dak steps out of
Man.
bounds, they get penalties, he gets sacked back to back on the second to last drive,
Yeah.
and just dumb stuff at the worst possible moment happens every time for the Cowboys. It's a curse.
I don't, and to be honest, I don't really think it's a curse. You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's the coach. I think it's time for Cowboys to get rid of McCarthy. Like, because if he didn't have Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, it would have been the same thing. Like, that's how he coach.
Yeah,
Because it
I can
always
see that.
comes at the because Aaron Rodgers is, you can trust him to make the smart play, the audibles and things like that. That's why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL.
Hmm.
Dak, I don't. How many times can you really trust him to do the audibles and things like that? Especially
I
because coming into his career, he was a fourth rounder, so fourth rounders don't get too much pull coming
Yeah,
in. He just got to play the system. He had Zeke, he
yeah.
had Dez Bryant, he had things like that, so he didn't really have to do much audible and anything. So now it's like he's at the helm of being able to
He's the
do it,
guy. Yeah.
but he learned from McCarthy. So all his
Yeah.
audibles aren't the best audibles.
True. Everything is, yeah, I
play
see what you're
play
saying.
calling. At this point, I don't even think they do a 2 minute drill in practice, because if they did, they
It
not
would look a
listening.
little better.
Like,
Well,
like
to be fair though, they did execute, they did their 2 minute drill. They ran it well. They got down to the 20. They just got
no,
penalties, two, what is
yeah,
it? Two
okay.
penalties back to back. That's coaching too though. So
We that's
to add to your
coaching,
point,
and is
that's
if
also coaching.
it's coaching and it's sometimes you're on top of players. Yeah, what it did, it stems to coaching, because at what point are we going to start telling these players, like, we can't do this in crucial games?
Yeah.
Like,
But
we
just
can't
drilling it
get
into their
10
head.
penalties. We can't get 10 penalties.
I wonder
Like
what
the
the
Eagle,
penalty
like
disparity was too.
it was 10-10.
10-10. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just like the Cowboys had theirs at like the worst moments
The
possible.
worst possible moments.
Like, and it's always the Cowboys that get it at the worst. They're the only team that can look. You can look at the penalties and say 10 for the Eagles and 10 for the Cowboys, but you start looking, you like, but
Yeah,
the
ten
Cowboys
ten.
penalties is just like they did third down, first down, nope, penalty, got to go backyards. It's just like they went from the 6 yard line to the 40.
It's crazy. They actually their penalties that they got. Well, that the flags that got thrown on the Eagles actually benefited the Cowboys more. They got 5 first downs from their penalties, from the Eagles penalties. That's even that's
And how
crazy
many of
too.
those wait? And how many of those drives did they get those first downs and then they lose it because of the three penalties they
Something
about
happened.
to
Yeah,
get? Like,
exactly.
it's
That
just
was
like,
one of
or
them when they was on
like,
the goal line. That's exactly what happened. It was penalty on the Eagles. Okay, cool. Now we on the 2 yard line, and then it's all of a sudden
right.
it's a false start, and then it's another. You're like, ah,
So
man. I'm starting to think
And
that I'm wondering if Jerry Jones just sold his soul for those Super Bowls in the '90s because
well, he did it
I don't
way
even
too
understand.
early
Yeah,
because it's just
you
like,
should have
but
waited. It's
that was
way
a
more
lot of
money in it
talent.
now.
That was a lot of talent back then. You didn't have to sell your soul to win Super Bowls with that talent you had in the '80s.
You want to know something crazy
Like
though? Here's a real crazy stat that I looked at when I was looking shit up. The Cowboys are the most. They have the highest win percentage of any team since the '60s.
well,
It's
I
at
would believe that.
57%. They went. That's why Cowboys fans are the way they are. 57% of their games, even when we look at them like they bad, like we
They
say,
always have a winning record.
yeah, like when we say they haven't won for 25 years, it's also they haven't been bad for at
That's
least
why it's so
15
much
years.
expectations for them. It's just like, dude, how many times can we watch y'all be one of the best teams in the league or in the NFC and
Yeah,
then choke it out?
flop it. But
It's just
I
like,
think to counter your point a little bit with the coaching, and I hate doing this to you, and I don't want to litigate Alex Smith, but I have to do
oh
this.
my
It's
god,
the same thing. It's to me when I watch the Cowboys, it's the same thing of watching those old Chiefs teams from 12 to 17. It's the same shit. It's like you have a great team, you have structure, this great structure. And even then, people wasn't calling Andy Reid one of the greatest coaches of all time. They were saying what was the knock on Andy? In crunch
he
time, he fumbles the
play
clock, he makes weird
right,
decisions. The same thing with McCarthy. And the main
right.
difference between him being that and him being a great well, he's way more successful than McCarthy, but the big difference
It's Pat
was the
Mahomes,
quarterback. Yeah, it was the
right?
quarterback. Alex Smith is
But
really
also,
good, but he just can't get it done. He can't carry a team.
I can't do
Same
that
with
too
Dak.
much. I can't do that too much because
If Dak don't step out of bounds,
look how many times Dak had a top 10 defense and how many times Alex Smith did. Because
yeah,
that was a knock on the Chiefs too. It's just like this is Pat Mahomes' first year with a top defense. So we can't
yeah.
make it seem like it's just like
But Alex
because
Smith had some
we
good defenses, especially early.
except
It was
two
mostly
thousand,
defense
I
then.
think 2000. What was that year we led the league in sacks because Tom Bailey almost broke the record. That was probably the best
It
defense we
had to
had that
be,
year.
yeah, it had to be around
Like
14. That's what I'm saying. It's like
14, 15. So it's
13,
just like
14, 15 was probably the best defenses. Then 16, 17, yeah, it was Justin Houston is gone. Tom Ali's
They just posted
done for.
they just posted the stats where our defense, other than points per game, because that was the best since 2013. Everything
Mm-hmm.
else after that was the best since 2000. I mean, like 1980s.
Yeah, but that's a different. Like we talking about.
So
We in the Chiefs talk right now. We talking about the Cowboys.
yeah,
Let's get back to the Cowboys.
I was just like,
I think a lot of this rests on Dak's shoulders. You're the guy. You got the big contract. We can't put as many pieces around you as we used to because you're supposed to be the guy, and you step out of bounds. There was no. Let's be honest. There was literally no reason for him to be that close to the sideline either way.
yeah, no,
That didn't make no sense.
I was thinking the same thing at first.
There was no reason.
I didn't think he stepped out of bounds at first. Then that
Yeah.
replayed, I'm like, why did he take
There's
that angle?
no exactly. There's
It
no
was the
reason
worst
for him.
angle.
He could have just literally turned that shit straight, and there was nobody there. Like he didn't have to go for the pylon at all. He could have just walked in damn near. Like I know there was
Yeah.
one guy coming, but
He's 6'4". He could
I
have
was just gonna
dove
say
from
you
the 2 yard
6'4",
line.
230,
Like
240.
he could have dove
You
from the. You gonna
you a
head up with
step
a
and a
what?
half away from the pylon, bro. Just go across the goal line. Don't go for the pylon. But that's a Dak thing. I think that's kind of the now I can't fault Dak for the penalties. So
No.
I think it's time. I think the Cowboys, and I think they're kind of doing that with Trey Lance, but we don't know what Trey Lance is. But I think it's time for them to pull the Chiefs and the Andy Reid move and get a young guy in there to sit behind Dak, whether it's a year, 2, 3, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sit a guy behind Dak and tell Dak, you're done. This is over with.
You're not a Cowboy
Be a
no
good
more.
vet. Yeah. Be
I
a
mean, he
good
could
vet.
go.
Teach this kid, and you're out of here, bro. You
Well,
can
if
retire. You
that's,
can whatever.
but the thing about this is, if I was Dak and I knew that was the plan, like
You're not
I
accepting
want to
that.
bring somebody in, learn under you, and then eventually they're gonna take your helm in maybe
Yeah.
2 years. If I was Dak, I'd be like, well, no, I'm just gonna trade
Yeah.
me.
Hold on. I can't hear shit. Fuck Technical malfunction. Wow, I'm surprised. I think that's the first time that has happened so far.
Uh,
The way this shit is sitting on here, I thought that shit would have to come.
oh, damn! This nigga done tricked that shit.
Oh, 16 episodes in, and that's the first technical malfunction.
Hmm.
I'll clap it up
That's a
for
clap.
myself. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm surprised. But what was you gonna say?
Yeah, but what I was saying, if I was Dak, see, Dak is not that type of quarterback to where Dallas could tell him, we bringing somebody in under you, and in 2 years you're done.
You need to be
Because
though.
Dak, but the thing is, Dak has a bigger from now to 2 years, he'll still have a big marketing free agency or things like that. So he could go somewhere else and do something.
Yeah.
It ain't like telling Alex Smith that bringing in Patrick. Alex Smith already knew his market wasn't that big. That's why everybody was like, this is his last year. He has to get off this year to get a contract. Dak wouldn't have to get necessarily off to get a bigger contract anywhere else. If Dak hit the market, I guarantee you right now, it'll probably be 7 teams that be calling his phone.
That's not a lot. Low key. 7
But it's
isn't
not a
really
it's
that
not
much.
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's a lot more than any other. I mean, the only other quarterbacks that'll probably get more calls ain't gonna hit the market. I'm sure
if you're let's say Tampa, they want to move on from Baker next year.
Tampa would definitely call his phone.
Wait, do you want him or you want Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles?
I'm taking that.
You taking Dak?
Yeah, because
I think it's a toss up.
I don't Kirk. I don't know. Off of Achilles though, I don't know if I'll take
that's
Kirk
a good point. Yeah,
I don't know. Kirk would have been. I would have taken Kirk over Dak, but this Achilles really set him back. So I don't know how. We've never seen Kirk come off something like
let's
this.
Let's go this way.
Aaron Rodgers is throwing footballs, and he's on the couch throwing to his.
He on all type of crazy drugs. That's different, bro. But hold on, let me fix this. All right, fuck my bad. But let's go this way too. How many? There's what 5 first round quarterbacks coming into the draft this year at least. I think there's probably more like 7 maybe get taken. I think there's somewhere around there that people talking about. That's so you got to plug in that too. So you saying maybe 7 teams call, maybe they don't. Maybe there's really only a handful. Maybe there's only 4.
But it really depends on where you at with your team. If your whole team is young and you want to keep it cheap and young, you go try a rookie. If it busts, it busts. If not, then you good. But if your team is on the verge, the quarterback is the only thing. We just had a competent quarterback for the next couple of years. We could be contenders for the next couple of years, and we'll figure it out after that. Minnesota. I think like Minnesota.
They got Kirk though. They could just keep Kirk. Yeah. You just swap. I'm not swapping Kirk for Dak. I'll just keep Kirk Cousins in. What?
I don't know after that, but I just feel like Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Addison and things like I think that'll be a little different with Dak than it is with Kirk. Just like plan type wise.
I guess.
I feel like the Bucks with Dak will be different. With Mike Evans, Godwin, and them, I think they're gonna
they drafted somebody. If they lose,
oh, well, I'm not saying if they
draft a couple more games, that's over with.
But I'm not saying teams that's going to draft. So I'm just saying like what teams would probably could actually be that next step to contenders if they had Dak rather than drafting somebody we don't know exactly what that quarterback is going to be.
Yeah, I mean I see. But
so
speaking of, well, because we'll get a little more into Dak and why I kind of feel that way. But mainly, I think what you saying.
But you already said you hate the Cowboys, though, so we already know
a little bit. But that's not the point. I'm fine. My thing is, I'm fine if the Cowboys are good. I don't care if they're
always good.
I don't hate them. I don't hate them in that way. Like, I can't even say no division rivals. Like I hate the Bengals. That's different. Like I respect the Bengals. Like, and that hate is different hate than the Cowboys. If the Cowboys were good, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's great. Actually, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hate that they're mid to bad every year, and we just talk about them like they're one of the best teams that there's been for the past 10 years. And it's just not the reality of everything. The reality
No,
is
but
I had one good year in 2016, and then for 5 years went 8-8 every year, and then just now got back to being good. But that's just besides the point. Dak fumbled, not fumbled. He fucked the game up with that 2-point conversion. That's it. And he fucked my bet up. So fuck Dak. That's the real T here.
oh, so
But
it's some underlying other discrepancies you have with the
it's a
game too.
couple,
That's
yeah,
why.
yeah. But well, like I said, we'll get to that because there's a thing with the young quarterbacks, and I think that Dak's market's probably smaller than you would think, and we'll get to that later. But when it comes to franchise quarterbacks, there's two other teams that faced off this weekend that have them for the next 10 years, possibly. Maybe not so long for one of them, but definitely for the other one. The Bills and the Bengals faced off. Let me get
that was Sunday night.
Sunday night? Okay, that was
Dak and the Eagles and the Cowboys was the 3:25 game.
3:00. Okay. So Sunday night, the Bills in Cincinnati. Did you see the stadium thing they did? I thought that was pretty cool.
Stripe.
Where they had it sectioned out and they had if you sit in this section, wear black, blah blah blah. But the Bills fall to the Bengals 18-24, and it wasn't actually that close. That's the funny part. The score looks a lot prettier than what the game was because they was up 21 at half. Let me look.
Yeah.
No,
they
was up 21-7 at half.
Yeah.
Like so they kind of just struggled. Like I don't really know. Part of me at first when I watched this, I want to say that it's really the defense is hurt and that's the real problem here, but it's not. Like they just really not getting anything done on offense, and I don't know whether to put that on Josh or what to do. The weird thing to me is when you look at the rushing yards. Did you look at that for this game at all?
Yeah, 16 for 68 and a touchdown.
Yeah, but Josh has 8 for 44 of those.
Yeah.
And I understand you're behind, but it's kind of just like, okay, you're behind, but you still only had 250 passing. Like what? I don't really. It wasn't a lot of execution. They couldn't have did good on third down because no, that's not bad. 7 of 12 is not bad. It's just not getting it done. I don't know what it is.
They going for it on fourth and not getting it. Probably. I mean, that's the Buffalo Bills.
They didn't even go for it on fourth down. There was no chance to. I don't really like. Was it the red zone? No, 2 for 3 on the red zone. It's just one. Like they're in a rut. Like people talk about the Chiefs, like the Chiefs are in some type of rut, and it's understandable. But let me look at my note because I wrote this down because this shit made me so mad. Because people keep doing that, but then the Chiefs are 5th in yards per play, 3rd in passing touchdowns, but 2nd in turnovers. And that's the thing. I think they're top 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
In scoring and all this shit. It's like we talk about the receivers, but the Chiefs are still executing at a high enough level to win. But the Bills, you watch their team and the offense is just bleh. Like I don't know what it is.
Especially with those with Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs.
Makes no sense. Kincaid.
Kincaid. They got another receiver.
Is Dawson Knox even playing? Is he hurt?
No, I dropped him. He wasn't playing. They drafted Kincaid and he took damn near all his snaps because I drafted Dawson Knox in fantasy. I dropped his ass week 3. I'm like, this man ain't getting no catches.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
he's hurt. That's why.
No, even before I'm telling you, bro. Even before he was hurt, he wasn't getting no love.
I mean, yeah, still, but it's like okay, you got these weapons, you got a solid line. Like, what is it? Coaching? Just Dayball?
Well, I know they got like three of their biggest defenders injured too. Milano, White.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain the weirdness
but I'm
of the
just saying,
offense. I don't get it. You know what I feel like we're at the same point. Like, and shout out to the Bengals because the Bengals have been back on their shit. Joe Burrow been balling out again. Cool, whatever.
Yeah,
but the real weird thing to me is like, what is wrong with Buffalo? There's no excuse.
that Bengals shit is and weird as so. This is why I just hate this game. This is why I hated this matchup because whoever would have won this game would have jumped the Chiefs in everybody's mind. I know
Yeah.
we hate bringing it back to the Chiefs, but that's what we do. But it's just
Well,
like
the crazy part
because
is everybody
but
feels they got
neither
to
this
jump the Ravens first.
neither of these teams deserve to jump anybody. Like they
No,
was fighting. This game should have been more like all
this is
right,
who
whoever
fighting for the
lose,
playoff spot.
right, or who fighting for like media respect, if anything, because everybody had both. If whoever lost this game was gonna get shitted on by the media because everybody
Basically, yeah.
was AFC. Both of these teams had this was their year basically.
True.
Like
Coming in, yeah.
so it's just like at 5-4 and 5-3, Bengals is taking a step up, but they still got to play division games.
Not just that, they
Like
still have to play the hardest. This is the hardest part of their schedules right now.
yeah, so
And you
I'm just like
literally
everybody
can't slip. You cannot have a
no
2-3 game slip up where you revert back
or
to the
they
beginning of
won't
the
make
season,
it.
or you're done. Yeah, you're done for it. I mean, we can
Especially
skip.
don't have it in the AFC because if you have all your slips against AFC opponents,
It's over with.
your tiebreakers is gonna be slipping and slipping and
It's
slipping
over with.
to the point where you're gonna be having the same record, but you can't get in because you lost to more AFC games than somebody with the same record as you.
But you want to
Because
know
that
something
tiebreaker.
crazy? Listen to this
What's up?
shit. Well, you obviously you've seen this. 7-2, 5-3, 5-3. Oh, I guess it's 7-2, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. Do you know what that is?
That's the AFC North.
That's the fucking AFC North.
Yeah.
You know,
They ain't played each other yet. That's why.
You know what's crazy? As of if the playoffs started right now, all 4 teams are in the fucking playoffs. You know
Yeah, I
how
know,
crazy
but
that is? That's why the Bengals worry me a little bit. The Bills, I don't know what to. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
okay, so let's do it like this. The AFC North, if the playoffs was today, because everybody like to do if play they did that after week 1 when the Lions won. If the playoffs was today, they'd be the number 1 seed.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
okay.
did
Well,
it preseason. I was talking about is the AFC
yeah,
North the best division in football, and it
yeah.
was
But yeah, I get it, but it's just like the Steelers are not going to be in the playoffs. Come on now, let's stop this right now. Thinking the AFC North, the Steelers could be in the playoffs, like because they still got to play the Bengals twice, right?
Yeah.
The Ravens twice.
No, they already played them. They beat
the Ravens once. One more. They're not beating the Ravens again. Ravens not. Once, and then
but maybe though
the Browns.
You realize Lamar has only beat the Steelers one time in his whole career.
We're
right?
not about to do this. We're not about to act like the Steelers is going to squeak into the playoffs. Like, it's
okay,
not
what if I
happen.
told you this? What if I told you that in my mind the Steelers aren't good? They are like the Giants back in the day, the 08, the like 2007 to 2012 Giants, where they gonna go 10-7, 9-8, and they gonna be the 7th seed and just squeak in and beat somebody in the fourth quarter because Pickett to Pickens on a last minute play.
Yeah, okay. Well, it sounds cool, but the 07 Giants was in the NFC.
True.
And the Steelers are in the AFC where the Chargers and the Steelers got the same record, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No.
No, they 4-3, right? Or they 3-4. I know we 2 games ahead of them. We got a 2-game lead on the Chargers. So they something in 5. 4-5?
4-5. Yeah, that's Because they
so
was like
one
2.
Game behind
they was
the
like
Steelers.
2-5 or some shit like that.
So they 1 game behind the Steelers. I got more faith in the Chargers making the playoffs than the Steelers.
That's 2 because the Steelers only play 8, so that's 2. But I see what you mean. Yeah. Like, who am I trusting more? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's not even that. It's just like
it makes more sense. But crazier things have happened though in the league. They got Mike Tomlin, who has still never been below 500 in a season. Like,
I mean, he can maybe not be below this year and still not make the playoffs. He ain't made the playoffs every year. He didn't make it last year. He was above 500, right? No, was that last year? He didn't make it.
Yeah, no, they didn't make it last year. Hell no.
And it was above 500, 9-8.
So let me look.
No, he was 8-1.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because it's not below 500.
Yeah,
that's right. So right now, So these are the teams that we talking about chasing the Steelers right now. This is the AFC North conversation. By the way, so Bills, Texans, Chargers, Jets. You saying it's gonna take a lot to get in to the playoffs, but those are the
Bills.
teams that's chasing. That's not crazy for the Steelers to still get in over the Bills, the Texans, and the Chargers, or the Jets.
It's
that's not crazy.
Like, the Jets, yeah, Houston, yeah, but I still like Houston right now over the Steelers, and I like even though the Bills is teams like that know how to, make it in, and then because at the end of the day, who's if it comes down to week 17, which this is how always the AFC North runs. Week 17 is always a division game, and somebody's getting eliminated.
Well, 18 now, but yeah.
Yeah, well, week 18 is always a division game, and it's like somebody's playing spoiler to somebody else in the division. It goes the AFC North happens like that every year. It's like the Steelers can make it, but they need the Ravens to win, or they need the Ravens to lose.
They need to win, and they need them to lose. Yeah,
right. And it's like, or they need the Ravens to win, and they need to win. And it's like, well, the Ravens is benching Lamar Jackson today, and they like, oh fuck, we're not going to the playoffs then. Like, so it's just like they would purposely bench Lamar Jackson so the Steelers ain't got to go to the playoffs. So it's just like. That's how the AFC North been ran for the last like 5 years.
Shit going crazy like that, where end of the season they like, man, if we just lose to the Browns or whatever, whoever the matchup is, the Ravens are just like, we just lose here, then we kick out one of our division rivals from making the playoffs. Let's just do it. Take the L. That puts us in the third seed instead of the first or second or whatever.
You remember the Chargers and Raiders game last year when they could have just kneeled and both of them could have made it, but the coach decided to kick the field goal?
Yes. Just incompetence at its best.
Yeah, it's just like we both can make it. And he's just like, hell no, boy. We're gonna try to make it and knock them.
We going for the win.
And that's exactly how the Chargers snuck in there and the Raiders didn't. Like that's exactly how.
That
so
shit gotta hurt. Now the coach is fired. But
not the coach is
fired.
Let's
ask the question:
Is there
another division that's even close? I guess that's really the question here.
Week 18 schedule.
I don't think
like with all four teams just like doing it
good.
Like that.
Yeah, because you could make the argument like, oh, these teams are close to each other, so it looks nice.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that NFC South because everybody.
Yeah, because everybody's close. But it's just
like
that doesn't count.
Good like that, but
I mean, the Saints are the 4 seed right now somehow. I don't know how that's happening
because they win in the division.
Well, yeah, that's
true. The only reason why.
That's right.
But like good, like no, but half of it is because I think they're the only division that hasn't played each other like other divisions have. We played the Broncos twice already.
True.
And we played the Chargers.
Yeah.
It was just like
and they've all played each other.
The Bills already played the Jets and Miami.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, the Patriots too.
And the Patriots. They lost it. Yeah, they just lost to them 2 weeks ago.
So it's like everybody is playing people except them. It's like if they backhanded their schedules, they whole division.
Well, I mean, that's good. That's going to be great.
Well, that's
for us to talk about.
Yeah,
like that's good for us, just not them. Yeah, that's
well, it's good for us, period, because we already know like that 1 seed is as long as we sit there and let them beat up on each other. If they squeak one game against the Ravens, we're gonna be safe and things like that. So because we played Cincinnati, so if we beat Cincinnati and the Ravens we got the tiebreaker.
I just can't. Since we on the AFC North. The team that I really despise the most right now is the Ravens, bro. I can't stand the rhetoric. How come this
year
the
best team in the NFC now? AFC.
This year they lost to the Colts this year, and people don't talk about it. The Chiefs lost to the Colts in week 4 of last year, and people still bring it up. Remember, they lost to the Colts. They went to overtime with Gardner Minshew and lost. And nobody even cared. We just pretend like that didn't happen. People just look at it like, oh, no, it doesn't matter.
And our Colts loss, we played like how we played against Detroit. It was just like a non-cheap game. It was just like, this is weird. Like
they lost to the Steelers.
Yeah, it was just like how we lost to the Broncos. It was like non-cheap game. It was like 5 turnovers. It ain't like We
It's
just
Lamar.
thought,
Lamar is fumbling the ball like once or twice every single game, but we just skip over that because you know what I think it is? And it's a hot take. I hate doing this. I think what is happening is there's a lot of white people, a lot of old whites that when Lamar was coming in was looking down at him and didn't think that he could be good. And then you have somebody like me who's looking at it like, no, Lamar could be good. He could be great. He got all the skills for it. But then for me, I can look at it and look at this and go, it's disappointing. What he's done so far, he won an MVP. That's cool, bro. Everything else is disappointing. Even the playoff run that year was
well,
disappointing. And I think people are overcompensating because of the early hate they had for Lamar. Now, because you an old white man, you got to be like, well, Lamar's amazing. He's awesome. He's the MVP this year. No, how is he the MVP this year? He got like 12 fumbles. How you have 12 fumbles in 8 weeks?
non-passing touchdowns, right? Like he ain't even really up there with that either. Like
no, not at all. That's the crazy thing. It's just
he's like, hey.
And then the excuse is, well, they running the ball. I don't. So what?
He's supposed to be the best runner. Like I was like
exactly.
I was like, they run it. Well, ain't that how he got his first MVP?
It's crazy how people can, in one hand, we can sit up and say Lamar's passing ability has jumped to another level with a new coordinator, but at the same time, be like, well, he only doesn't have a lot of passing touchdowns because they run the ball a lot. It's like that. Well, you have to pick one now. We can't have both
because
things.
y'all just said Greg Roman ran too damn much.
But now,
so y'all brought in
Lamar's
else.
passing is better, but also they run the ball too much for him to have fucking 12 touchdowns. What are we saying, man?
They don't know what they saying. No,
they don't do that for fucking Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has like 8 touchdowns, and it's just like, well, Trevor Lawrence ain't getting it done. How does it make? They have very similar stats, but one is like people like he could be the MVP, and one is like he's struggling
because they all will. And then when it comes to Lamar, they always want to add. Look at his all-purpose yards. This is how much total yards he has, including rushing. But y'all don't include rushing. Nobody else.
It's just overcompensating, bro. That's what it is. It's people. You hated him. You hated on him when he came in. You didn't think he could be a quarterback. He turned out to be great, and now you're overcompensating the completely opposite way when he's not playing that good.
But what I think what it is when it comes to this quarterback era and media and things like that, they want to have quarterback stories so much. They want to have more to talk about now because they don't want to go another 20 years of just talking about Pat Mahomes, knowing Pat Mahomes is X, Y, and Z in the NFL because we did it. Because growing up, I remember watching SportsCenter. I don't remember much debates about who's better than Tom Brady. Nobody. It wasn't.
Here's the thing. And I've been thinking about this too because we're gonna do the quarterback epidemic part 2 basically, and I'm gonna go through some of this stuff. But what it made me remember was during when we was kids, what happened was when Tom Brady won those Super Bowls, nobody looked at him like he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He was just a system guy that played behind a great defense, and that's why they was winning championships. No, it wasn't until the 2010s when he started actually putting up real good, solid numbers. That's why everybody argued Peyton Manning is better than him. Yeah, 07. Yeah. People were saying that Peyton Manning was the better quarterback. That's 6-7 years into his career. That's around this same time. It was until he had that Randy Moss season. That's when people started being like, oh, maybe Tom is the better quarterback. And he continued his success and winning championships. And he just completely washed like, it's crazy to think that Tom Brady has 13 losses in the playoffs. Peyton Manning has 14 wins in the playoffs. You know how crazy that is? Pat has 11 right now. But that's why I brought that up, because the Tom Brady shit was like a slow burn over 18, 19 years of success. And the last half is when people started saying he was the best. And Pat has the opposite trajectory right now, where he blasted off into the top immediately as soon as he stepped on the field full time. And now it's kind of bopping along at this weird pace. And now we're creating narratives to pit people against him.
Yeah, it's like creating competition. It's just like
When there's only one competitor, it's Joe Burrow. I hate to tell all the other fans
Yeah,
of the NFL out there, as Chiefs fans, that's the only person that Chiefs fans and Pat and all them look at as real competition is Joe Burrow. That's it. There's
yeah,
nobody else. Everybody else, you're just pretending.
yeah. Just like y'all week to week, like every media person is week to week, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's all. That's all it is going to be.
First it's
It's just
Tua,
like
then it's Josh Allen, then it's Lamar,
then
it was
it's
Deshaun for a
Jalen
year, it's
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, it's
And
like
then it always come back to, well, Pat, at the end of the season, who got the best numbers? Pat. Who got the best record? Pat. Who went to the Super Bowl? Pat. So how we can't keep doing that. The only other
it,
person that's come close
that's why I like the analysts
is
that
Burrow.
always say, Pat aside,
Yeah,
who
you
do you
have
think
to.
the best is? It's like
You
at this
have
point you
to.
have to. It's like because
You have to.
but it's just like I don't.
Before, hold on, because we're gonna get back into this when we get to hit this quarterback era. So let's put the brakes on this real quick. Let's talk about a young quarterback that's coming up. Let's talk about CJ Stroud real quick. Somebody that deserves a
Mhm.
little more
No,
praise we can throw in
yeah,
there. Because I mean, I think sneakily, well, first let's go through. The Texans beat the Buccaneers 39-37. I'm not looking at the score, but I had to pull it up. But yeah, 39-37. It's a crazy back and forth game. I went back to watch the full, like the little condensed game or whatever, to try to watch all the plays, and I didn't even get through it. I was just like, I don't know what the hell is going on. This game is fucking crazy. They just put
hmm
ridiculous numbers. But CJ Stroud ends with 470 yards on 30 for 42 with 5 touchdowns, no picks, which pushes him up to 14 touchdowns and 1 interception.
yeah.
And I got a couple stats for you. Oh, okay. That one didn't pull up. All right. That's how you're going to do me. But there's only one other person who, as a rookie, even put up 14 touchdowns, whatever the picks, 14 touchdowns and 2,200 yards in their first 8 starts. Who do you think it is?
As a rookie,
As a rookie. Pat don't count because he never played as a rookie.
right? I mean, the next person I could think of that went crazy that rookie year, the next couple years before, I mean, Justin Herbert.
It's Justin Herbert. That's it. That's the only,
Yeah,
it's
they the
Justin
same
Herbert.
people.
That's crazy. That's wild, bro. Like,
Justin Herbert. That's why, and I was gonna bring that up too. I had it in my notes, and because I listen to First Thing First a lot.
yeah.
Nick Wright brought up a good point. He was like, he said I'm gonna give him his flowers, but I'm gonna hold off on it because he always bring up Justin Herbert and how everybody want him to be an elite quarterback, but he was like he's the same guy from his rookie year.
Yeah.
Like he's just a good quarterback. Like he's not nothing in the lead thing. He's just a good quarterback. He was good his rookie year, and we all thought he was gonna get better, and he's just always been good.
That was my
So it's just like
argument when we had the epidemic talk, because like I told you, I was like, if Justin Herbert is our 5th best quarterback, that's not saying a lot, because it's not like
right,
he's just off the chains. Like, nah, he's just really good. He's
right,
really, really good. To me, it's like Dak plus, where it's like, yeah, you're really good.
right.
You're not
But no, but
awesome.
watching CJ Stroud, he's probably I don't know how many picks Justin Herbert had in his first 8 games, but
It's not, I wish I
um,
could pull it up, but it ain't letting me.
but he's doing good. He's balling. He actually is doing better than I anticipated because
Oh, way better.
watching his preseason games, I'm like, ooh, he's about to struggle. But
Right.
obviously, you don't play with everybody in your ones and stuff like that, so it look different. But I mean, he's staying strong in the pocket. He's what 6'4", 6'5", something like that. So he's
Yeah, somewhere around there.
he's staying strong in the pocket. Ball come out his hand real good. Like every time he throws the ball.
To
So
me, I can't remember who said it. It made me so upset that somebody said that they reminded I can't remember who it was, but they were comparing CJ Stroud to quarterbacks, and they compared him to two black quarterbacks that just it didn't even make sense to me. It was like, oh, he reminds me of Deshaun Watson. I'm like, how? Like what?
Because
Or it was like Russell Wilson. That was the other one. He reminds me of Russell Wilson. I was like, what are you talking about? You just named
early
the
Russell
two.
Wilson never was in the pocket.
Bruh,
Like
never.
what?
To me, it sound crazy, and maybe it's because he wears 7, right? I'm not tripping.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah. What
Mm,
fucking number does he wear 7?
I thought he wore a double
No, he
digit.
wears 7. No, he wears 7. I'm not tripping. Okay. But it's fucked up because I was thinking he reminds me a little of John Elway. That's the first person I thought of, was a big, strong dude who can move with a quick trigger and a strong arm. Because he's not running crazy. You know what I mean? It's not
No,
like he
not like
taking
he was in
off like
college.
Lamar. No. He's not doing the Justin Fields. He's not doing that. But that's who he reminded me of. A big body guy who can move, but the arm, that's the reason I wanted to say it. The throwing motion is so it's
effortless.
It's nothing, and it comes out so fast, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it takes absolutely nothing. It was
and
one,
it just jumps out his hand.
He don't have to do nothing. He don't got
it looked like he's barely throwing and the ball just jumps.
And it just flies out of his hand. And it's so crazy that we talk about these guys. We did nobody, like when Josh Allen came in, they were like, he has the biggest arm we've ever seen. He can throw it 80 yards from his knees. Look at this clip. They did the same thing with Pat. And there was obvious, nobody did that with CJ Stroud, but watching it,
no.
It's the same thing with
Lamar. Because the same draft he came out, you had Will Levis, right? This year. Didn't Will Levis come out this year? Or was that last year?
Well, I think that was this year. That was the year that just passed. Yeah, this last draft, because Malik Willis was before that. So
right. So
Will Levis had to be. Yeah,
they had Will Levis.
Is it racism, bro? It can't just be like racism.
Oh,
bro.
Will Levis throw a beautiful deep ball.
I hate doing that, but because Lamar was the same thing. When I remember watching Lamar in college and being like, why does nobody talk about how easy it is for this man to throw the ball? Like, it's not, he just throwing darts. It's like he can just
meanwhile you got
his wrist.
Meanwhile, you got somebody like Zach Wilson. When he coming out, they was like, he throws a beautiful deep ball. Well, he just throws it down the field.
He putting his whole spine in the throw.
But that's what got Malik Willis drafted so high, because he just came out there and threw an 80-yard bomb. It's like, if y'all just
sideways,
and just threw an opposite field. But and I don't even want to get on why they just treating that man scandalous over there.
It is crazy, bro.
Mike Vrabel's he's a horrible developer as a coach. That's why he can't ever like. And when he's never striked me as I want a black quarterback anyway. So it's just like, it's those type of coaches.
That's a different conversation we got to have at some
point. I already knew Bill Belichick wasn't no good. When he got Kim, I'm like, Bill Belichick don't know how to use mobile quarterbacks like
at all.
But anyway, but CJ Stroud.
Shout out to CJ Stroud, man. CJ Stroud
and DeMeco Ryans.
And DeMeco Ryans, bro, going
rookie
crazy.
Quarterback going crazy down. Quarterback, rookie coach down there doing his thing too.
49ers defense, they had to go get Chase Young just to try to be normal without him again. Like Houston, I know Houston fans got to be feeling great right now. Just 20 years of nothing. Well,
my people, my people's down there. My daddy from Houston and stuff like that. They down there.
I know they hype.
They like, Houston finally got us something we could believe.
Even though y'all let's not pretend, them Houston people don't pretend like y'all just been supporting the Texans y'all whole life. That's a lie.
That is a lie.
Y'all don't lie.
Actually,
because I know we know the truth.
My daddy and my daddy people was the only ones. The only ones that I know that's diehard Houston fans. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like, y'all really like these dudes? Like, because you should be Houston fan. You was born down here. You lived down here for some years. I said, hey, nah, boy, I'm not doing that. Like, I like the Astros, but I ain't liking no Texans. Texas won that. Shit, they didn't become a team till what? 03?
2003, 2004. Yeah, that shit is wild when you think about it.
I was old enough to realize this is not what I want.
Oh, that's funny, man.
That's the year the Chiefs went 13-0 first.
That shit crazy. So shout out to CJ Stroud, shout out to Mika Ryan, shout out to the Houston, Texas area and them boys out there.
And the real fans.
Have hope. Yeah. Not the converted Cowboy fans. Don't do that. Just because you live in Houston and they doing good now and you can go to the game because the ticket is cheap. Don't do that. Stay up there with the Dallas guys. Don't do that right now. Don't have on the
Because
bench.
when Dallas go to the playoffs,
You gonna
you're gonna
throw
be a
that shit
Dallas
right in
fan
the
again.
trash. Yeah. That shit gone. So since we talking quarterbacks and CJ Stroud and all that, let's do a quick hit mystery matchups. I got 3 again for you.
Mystery
They
matchup.
all quarterbacks. And I'm not even
Let's
gonna give you an
go.
in-depth thing. We just gonna do some quick picks, and I'm gonna show you who they are. We'll tell you who they are because I don't
Hey,
have this shit
speaking
set
of,
up the best.
while you bring up mystery matchup, I just
Mm-hmm.
seen a clip on like one of the most underrated receivers, and it was Brandon Lloyd.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
like,
I,
and I was like, Jeff Garcia was his quarterback.
bro. There's a thing with the TikTok era that's kind of ridiculous, where you can just take clips of anybody and just say they a dog. Shout out to Bill Simmons because Bill Simmons brought this up with NBA players, where he was talking about where you can be like it's just anybody, just a random person. Raymond Felton was a problem, and just show a 3-minute
Yeah,
clip of his
a
whole
random
entire career highlights.
career.
Yeah, and you like, oh, he was nice. Why wouldn't he? Da-da-da-da. It's like, well, because he wasn't that good. That's why. Like you, like
No, but
do
Brandon
that with
Lloyd had his
anybody.
stretch. Brandon Lloyd had his
Sure,
stretch.
a lot of people had they stretch though.
He
That's
had a couple years, but that's why one reason why I brought it up, I was like, that's why Jeff Garcia looked like he was getting the fuck off his
that's a
first
good
four
point.
years.
That's a good point. Oh, let's start with the most dry one of these. Can you see this well?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I just want to make sure so it's
This
not.
is this year.
No. This is let's see
Oh, this
how
is just head and head regular season. Never mind. I'm just like, what the hell? 0-1.
no, yeah, that's just they.
This is dry. 67 to 67. This man literally, if he step on the field, it's a coin toss if he win.
So I need to figure out how I can look at this without you seeing the other shit. Oh, never mind. I'm tripping. It should be okay. Yeah, you can't see this, right? Nope. Okay, you
No.
can see it over there. All right, bet. So this is a little. This is a weird matchup, and there's not really any good reason that I picked it. I just thought this shit was so close. This is just funny. This is just a weird, funny one. So this is like the first what is this? 11, 10 years of one's career and the first 8 years of another one's career. So 9 and 8 actually.
They stayed in long enough to get 30,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Now these are two long-term starters. Like these two guys started long-term. I don't have no playoff stuff for you. I don't have none of that this time. This is just straight up which one do you want? Because this one is like, you're not going. It's not a good. I'm just going to tell you now. There's not a really good decision to make here. This isn't one of those where one is like what, and the other one's like, damn, I would obviously pick Brett Favre over Russell Wilson. This ain't one of those.
Right.
So,
um,
but for the people listening, let me give you a little rundown. One, I'll just give you a quick one. They both have 31,000 passing yards. They're both floating around 235-ish passing yards a game. They both have exactly 204 touchdowns. One has 141 picks. One has 118 picks. One has 1 Pro Bowl. One has 3 Pro Bowls. One has 22 rushing touchdowns. One has 9 rushing touchdowns. But virtually everything is pretty much almost exactly even, like all the way down. Like yards per attempt, passer rating, all of that. So for the people listening, but go ahead. So who do you want?
well, push come to shove, I'm gonna get the guy that win more. I mean, even though
It's only like a couple. It's only a
couple
couple
games
more
more,
wins. Yeah, like
man, he tied too. But he
it's only
also
a
has
couple
less
more.
picks too. So it's just like this
Okay,
guy damn near throw a pick every time he throw a touchdown. Like,
basically, yeah, almost.
so I'm gonna have to go with the one on the right.
Okay, so the one on the right, the man you chose was the Red Rocket himself, Andy
Andy
Dalton.
Makes sense.
Yes, from 2011 when he first came into the league all the way up to 2019.
That's a
which is
shame.
his whole career with the
And couldn't
Bengals.
win a goddamn playoff game. Win
Nope.
every damn year.
The man on the left that you chose Andy Dalton over was Alex Smith again. No, I'm just fucking with you. It was Jay Cutler.
Mm.
So
That makes sense.
yeah,
Actually, growing up watching both of them,
yeah.
they do. I mean,
It's not much of a difference.
yeah, it's like
One,
they
it was
just look.
literally what it is. One threw a lot more picks than the other one. Otherwise, they're
Yeah,
just solid quarterbacks.
yeah. It's just like you knew what you got. Maybe, hopefully, we can get a good enough defense to where it can take us to the Super Bowl. But if not,
Yep.
then we're just gonna be a playoff team every year. Just like get us to the playoffs.
And I know this for doing research on our next segment that we're gonna do. 235 yards. Basically, that means you're averaging 4,000 yards a year. Basically.
Yeah, and back then that was pretty good back in
Mhm.
that era. So I mean, Jay Cutler played early, mid 2000s. He came in like what 09?
2006.
6? Yeah. So
He went
yeah,
to the Bears. He went.
yeah, he
Yeah,
went
he
to the
went
Super
to
Bowl
the
with the Bears,
Bears
right?
in 2009.
No, that wasn't him. That
That
wasn't him
wasn't
that went to
him.
the
That
Super
was
Bowl. That was
Rex Grossman.
Grossman. Yeah,
Yep. All right, let's move on to the next one.
I'm thinking Cutler with the Broncos too, right?
That's
He,
what I mean. He started. He got drafted by the Broncos. Was there for 3 years. They let him go. Then he went
oh
to
yeah,
the
they let him
Bears in
go. That was
'09,
dumb. They
and then
let
he
him go
started
because that
balling
was
out.
his best.
Him
That was his
and
best
Brandon
year.
Marshall went to the Bears.
Yeah, that was his best year with the Broncos when they let him go. It was kind of
Yep.
weird. I'm like,
But
why'd y'all
I'm
let Jay Cutler go?
because Tim Tebow took them to the playoffs
Oh
and won
yeah,
a
that's
game.
right. Duh. I forgot that when
The
he.
NFL is fucking crazy.
I forgot all about the Tebow era.
All he does is win. That shit's sad. Now, this one is a little more. I mean, it depends on who you like out of this one. So these are. Wait, am I on? Oh, it's the
Click
same
that
one.
same. Yeah, click. Yeah.
Okay. So these are two guys that are
One of these
playing
young guys.
right now. One of them is a slightly older, and it's his first 5 years in the league versus this guy's whole career up to now. So that there's a little hint in there.
Mm.
So for the people listening, while you go ahead and look, guy on the left has 22,000 passing yards total, has 143 passing touchdowns, 50 interceptions, a 98 passer rating, 1,400 rushing yards, 25 rushing touchdowns, 2 Pro Bowls. The guy on the right has 20,000, almost 21,000 passing yards, 156 passing touchdowns, 69 interceptions, a 93 passer rating, 3,000 rushing yards, and 44 rushing touchdowns with 2 Pro Bowls and 1 All
Wait, so both of
Pro.
these dudes are still in the league, right?
Both these dudes still in the league, yes.
Okay. And you said, but both of them is their first 5 years. So one is all the way, and the other one is their first 5 years.
Yep.
Mm.
That's the little hint. If you can do math, you can probably figure this one out if it's a little easier. But so which one you got, left or right?
One on the right is Josh Allen.
You tell me.
It is. I tell you that. Other than Lamar Jackson, he's the next one other with that many rushing yards. It got to be. And then
It's,
I can't. Oh man,
this one is a little.
I'm gonna go with. What's it?
Well,
I just feel like I could do. If I was a coach, I could do more with the one on the right. Like he's all pro. I mean, neither of them got rings or anything like that. I don't know their playoff records and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to go
about
with
the
the dude that
same.
I'm gonna
Almost
have
the
to go with the
same.
dude. I mean, he got more touchdowns. He got what is that? 12 more touchdowns and 19 more picks. Is that 156 or 155?
156.
Yeah, so 13 more touchdowns, 19 more picks, but he also has 20 more rushing touchdowns and over almost 2,000 more rushing yards. So I'm gonna have to go with Mr. All Pro, whoever that is on the
All
right.
right. The man on the right is Josh Allen. You was right. You was correct. The man on the left is Dak Prescott in his first 5 years.
Okay,
Very
that makes
similar.
sense.
It's really,
Yeah,
it's a lot close. It's super close. That's why I put it on here because I'm just like, that's very
because
weird.
Josh Allen's only been in the league 5 years, right?
Yep, this is fifth year.
Yeah.
This is all everything up to now.
Hmm.
Yeah, super close. It's pretty crazy to
That
think
is. That's
about.
pretty interesting. I didn't know that
Yeah,
actually.
it
I
threw
mean,
me
but so
off. I
what?
was like,
But
damn, Dak actually throws the ball better.
yeah. So why
That's
is
fucking
it?
crazy.
I'm just confused on why doesn't he have the in his early years? He wasn't really that scrutinized though, like Josh Allen is. But he also didn't make as many mistakes because this doesn't probably add in fumbles and things like that. Because
Mm-mm.
after that, then you just be like, I don't want nobody to be fumbling 30 times.
Right.
But I don't know. That's
But
pretty
there's a
interesting.
reason. Let's go to the next one. All right. Here we go. Do you
Who would
need
I rather have on this list?
yes.
Shouldn't this be self-explanatory?
Maybe, maybe
why,
not.
why would I?
Depends.
Why, this dude ain't.
Okay.
It's
Take
like
the
one. It's just what. Who would you rather have, him or?
Okay, now here,
You want $1 million or one? Like I don't know.
okay, let me explain a little bit. This is two people's first 3 years in the league. So that's what you have to remember. One,
It's Pat Mahomes.
I'm not telling you all that. I'm just saying one, I'll just say that. One, this is both their first 3 years
No,
in
I'm
the
just talking.
NFL. Now, if you look, one has double the interceptions.
Let me see.
The guy that you said, oh, I got to go with him, he has double the interceptions and
This they first
a
3 years,
lot,
you said, right?
yes, first 3 years, and a
Okay.
lot less rushing. But I mean, one is wins a lot more. It's pretty funny to look at it like this now.
Yeah, one wins a lot more.
Oh yeah, but they both, this is them exactly at 50 games basically. Well, one's at 49, that's one's at 50.
Damn, man, you gonna do Jalen Hurts like that?
I mean, if you think
Because
that's
that's
Jalen
exactly
Hurts,
who the left is.
if you think that's Jalen Hurts,
I definitely
that's
think
who I'm doing like that.
nah, it ain't Jalen Hurts. It's not enough rushing yards.
When you who do you want, right? Or I mean, it feels like you're like I'm obviously going to the right side.
First 3 years. Mm.
This
This
one
dude
will
on
be
the
a little
left had a
tough.
this one on the left had a good defense. I just know he did. Passing range is not that. I mean, he got a better passing range though, even with the interception.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
So,
when in
all
doubt,
right.
go with the guy that win.
So you going with the right?
Right.
All right. So the man on the right side of this chart is Kurt Warner in his
Okay.
stint with the Rams. Now, to preface that nigga was 28 years old when he came
Yeah,
into
I
the
would say he
league.
also came from bagging
Yeah,
groceries
he was
to
almost
doing
30
that.
years
Like,
old when he came into the
I
league.
would be throwing 60 picks too in my first 3 years if I was bagging groceries.
The guy on the left that you snubbed for Kurt Warner
Mm-hmm.
is Justin Herbert up to right now. Well,
No,
up to last
I've,
year.
I'm
Excuse me.
I'm totally fine with the pick that I got. I would definitely have Kurt Warner first couple.
Oh,
It's
that's fucking hilarious, bro. Oh
like what?
man.
I
Like,
mean, yeah,
nah,
he threw.
give me Kurt
Definitely give
Warner.
me Kurt. Like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
he threw.
I think if you put Justin Herbert on them Rams teams, that shit it would have been ridiculous because Kurt Warner arm ain't even it's not close to a
No,
Herbert
it's
arm.
not. But I
But
feel like
I feel
Warner.
you though. You didn't make a
I don't
bad
know, but
choice.
that man had Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt,
Marshall Faulk,
Marshall Falk.
yeah. Orlando Pace is your left
Mm-hmm.
tackle, all time left tackle. You had an all time offensive line, all time weapons.
What
All
is
you had
it?
to do was just not
Greatest
fuck it
show
up.
on turf, man.
Don't fuck it up. And he didn't. He got him to 2 Super Bowls, won one.
Mm-hmm. Oh
That's pretty
man, Dick
good.
Riverdale.
Did pretty good. You did good, son. You did good. All
Mm-hmm.
right. This is finna stress me out. So, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go to the main camera real fast so I can explain what's going on here. No, you're not gonna switch? Okay. Did it
Rudy
switch?
Gobert is so trash.
Oh yeah.
I don't understand why people still hype that man up.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, maybe what was it, two? It doesn't matter. A couple weeks ago, we had a debate after I think it was because of the quarterback draft that made us have that debate.
Yeah.
And we talked about that there's possibly an epidemic at the quarterback position. And I said, hey, I'm going to go do a little research and figure out when the best era of quarterback was. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
ran into a little bit some issues. Obviously, the main issue being the difference in the eras, the rule changes that came in the 2010s,
Mm-hmm.
and passing yards and touchdowns and the stats in general are just kind of slanted and a little awkward to try to kind of parse through some of that stuff. But they're close enough. Some of that stuff you can kind of look at and tell the difference. But ultimately, before I get into some of this, I believe that right now we are in a worse position than we possibly have ever been when it comes to quality starting quarterbacks. And I think this is the worst crop in totality, not at the top, not the best of the best being better than the best of their best, but from 1 to 32. I think we are in the worst era since the early 90s when it was just Montana, Marino, Elway, and Favre, and there was basically nobody else. I think we're in that era right now, and I'll go
I
through
think
some of this stuff, and I'll just show you some of the
I
stats and shit. But go ahead,
you
I'll
know
pull this up.
I don't think it's a from a playing standpoint because I think we have a lot of more talent in these areas, but I think it's more of a maturity standpoint with the quarterbacks now because I feel like the quarterbacks back in the day were more mature coming into the league and taking over a franchise and things like that, rather than quarterbacks now is like Johnny Manziel and Baker and Jamarcus Russells and things like that. Nobody who really came in like it's more they do more upside on talent than they do on maturity and things like that. That's why we so high on CJ Stroud who or Bryce Young. They talked about how mature they was and things like that. And so Pat Mahomes, how they carry
Yeah.
themselves and come in and run an organization.
Now let
So
me let me show you this list real quick. All right. Now I see what you're saying. Now that's a big point of some of the stuff that I was looking through here. Now here, right, what we looking at right now on here
mhm.
is a list, and I set the parameters to since 1983
Mhm.
quarterbacks that are at least in a fifth year started at least 8 games and had a passing yards per game of 260, which I think puts you at somewhere around like close to 42,000, something like that, or 4,200.
4,200, yeah.
Let me make sure my math is correct because I want to really make sure to drive some of these points home to kind of show what I'm saying here. So 260 a game, and back in the day, all the way up until the last 2 years would get you 4160 passing yards. So something we would say, that you had a great year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, if you look here, there's an obvious problem when you look at the top of the list. The top of the list is
Right.
2023.
It's falling off.
We got 4 guys right now that are at least in the fifth year or older and throwing for 4,000 yards a game.
Okay. So how many how much does this have to account for it? I've never seen and we 30 now, so we've seen a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, football, I guess, different eras. We've seen the era switch and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
If other than if your team was real just bad, we never really seen coordinators and coaches switch this much in the NFL. Like, even if your team is good, they'll drop your coordinator if your coordinator ain't doing what he needs to do, like with your
I do
quarterback.
have a deeper theory if you want to get straight to the deeper theory.
Okay.
The deeper theory here for me is that I think around 2009, and you can see it here. In 2009, they changed the defenseless receiver rule. So that's when you couldn't no helmet to helmet. You couldn't
Right.
hit guys that were like turned around, whatever. You know what the
Yeah.
defenseless rule
You go up
contact rule
for
is,
a
or whatever.
ball and
Yeah, you
they
can't
hit
hit
you and
guys
all
like
that. Yeah.
midair, all that stuff. And if you look here, there's an obvious, like a clear jump. 1995, we have 5 guys. And then and then 2000, there was something else with 2003 where they changed the illegal contact rules or something like that. Because it was 2003 was the lowest passing yards like of all time. So they changed a couple rules around, and you can see a jump there. It goes from just Peyton Manning to now we got 3 and then 2 and then 5 and 2. But in 2009, it's a clear
Yeah, it's
jump
just
to 9
everybody up
guys.
there.
And then look at the names: Brady, Breeze, Favre, Manning, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Tony Romo, Matt Schaub threw for fucking 5,000 yards that one
Yeah,
year.
man, Shaw went crazy that year.
But I think what happened was, the deep theory is, I think what happened was the guys that played earlier learned they developed their skills in an era where their receivers could be hit, maimed, their heads taken off. And when you took the
Yeah,
physicality out
it
of
was
the
still easy for him.
secondary, it became so easy for these guys that are 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 10-year veterans that they just dominated. And I think that's why a lot of them had these long careers. And if you look, the list just grows and grows. And I think a lot of that is because the game was so easy for them, because they learned in a different time where things were harder. It was just legitimately harder to have a great passing game. But and the other side of that too, why I think we are in an epidemic, is because we don't have guys that have grown into being these top quarterbacks. In 2009, Tom Brady had been in the league for 8 years. Peyton Manning had been in the league for 10 years. Phillip Rivers had been in the
Right.
league 5, 6 years.
Tom Brady was drafted in the 90s, though.
No, Tom Brady was drafted in 2001. That's the crazy part. But that's what I
I
mean.
thought
If
it
you
was
look
like
at this,
99.
all of these are guys that had been in the league for at least 5 years. So we talking about nine players in 2009. That's a third of the league. You know what I mean? Like 10 is a third of the league. You get up to, and I honestly think the best era of quarterbacks, hands down, looking through all these stats over, and I have more lists and stuff we can go through, but from 2013 to 2018 is the best crop of quarterbacks that there's ever been. And the Mahomes era is
The beginning of his era, right?
yeah, right when Pat comes in and wins the MVP and does all that, that's the beginning of the
He
drop
kicks
off.
all the old people out.
Literally
You know what I'm saying? Because
begins
everybody sees him and they like, okay, we got to do something different.
Pat
Like,
Pat coming in and doing that in 2018 created the wave of
yeah.
people moving towards, hey, we can get a guy in here and in a year or two, he should be the guy.
And
And
that's
really,
why
it's
everything is
wrong.
going down.
And that's why we are in an epidemic of quarterbacks. That's why we have a lack of veteran quarterbacks that are solid to good. Because if you're not great or very good, you're out of here. They getting you out
Yeah,
of here.
you
They
know,
bringing a young guy in,
because
and we starting over every two,
eh,
3 years.
every 2, 3 years. And it's because there's no way Jimmy G should be the veteran on your team coaching a
Exactly.
rookie. Like it's just like there's no way
Exactly.
Jimmy. I would like we had rookies coming in learning under like Aaron Rodgers under Brett Favre,
Yes.
Not Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Bledsoe,
Mm-hmm.
fucking Steve Young had Montana.
Like this
Like,
shit. So
but it's
here,
just like, but we got Pat Mahomes came under Alex Smith. We got Will. What did we got? Will Levis learning under Tannehill and then taking his spot 3 games later. Like,
exactly.
so just and now Tannehill and now Malik Willis was drafted before Levis, and now he's under him. Like, it's just like
Yes.
Who did Josh Allen come in under? Nobody. What about
Nobody.
Joe Burrow? Nobody.
Nobody just came straight in. Herbert,
Lamar
nobody.
Jackson came under Flacco. He didn't even want to teach him.
Exactly.
So it's just like all these dudes literally have to take over franchises where
Off nothing.
all
And
right,
you can keep
hopefully yo
going. Every young guy, who did Trevor Lawrence take over behind? Nobody.
nobody.
Who every single one of these young guys is the
We putting too
same
much
thing.
pressure on dudes coming out in college. Like there wasn't much
Exactly.
pressure from 13 to 18 on rookie quarterbacks like it is now.
None. Because you had Brady, because you had Breeze, because you had Rivers, because you had Roethlisberger, because you had even Stafford. That's his 10th year in the
What
league
do
in
you
2018. You had fucking Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers. Like you had
Phillip
guys.
Rivers?
Philip Rivers, Matt Ryan in 2015 was in the league. That's his 7th year in the league.
Andy Dalton was back then.
Andy Dalton in 2018. That's his 7th, 8th year in the league. Yes, that's my point, is that we are an epidemic. Look at these names on here. Look at like, it's crazy. Alex Smith, as much as I rag on Alex Smith, I'm not going to pretend like he wasn't a solid to good starter for 10, 12, 13 years. Of course he was.
He
And
was a number one pick though. So who did he come in
exactly.
under?
Nobody. But that's different because he went to the NFC Championship his 2nd or 3rd year, whatever, and it was because he had a great defense and all this other stuff. But the point is, we are clearly in an epidemic of quarterbacks, and it's sad. And if we go through some of this, so if you look at this shit, this is where it starts getting weird at. So I put the bar for these next 3 lists I'm gonna look at real fast. If you can, do I need to zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, just a little.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's good.
the bar at the top, oh, you probably can't read that. So this is from 1991 to 2000 quarterbacks that at least averaged 190 yards per game, which puts you just over 3,000 yards a game back then and puts you just at 3,200-ish for 17 games. Look at the names on this fucking list, bro. Right? It's the best of the best, right? Brett
Right.
Favre, Troy Aikman.
Troy
And
Aikman.
this is from top to bottom, from the
Steve
number of
Young,
wins.
John Elway,
Dan
Marino,
Marino, Drew Bledsoe,
Bledsoe,
Jim Kelly, Warren Moon,
Kelly.
even Testaverde, right? So you got,
Oh,
it gets a little sketchy, yeah. So I brought some of these up because I wanted to also point some of this shit out. So obviously, look, if we put the cutoff of good at, let's say Warren Moon.
Kelly, Warren Moon, yeah.
Let's just say Warren Moon. I was gonna say Jim Kelly, but let's throw more Warren Moon in there also, right? We talking about guys that even then, at 200, Troy Aikman, he had such a good team. He had Emmitt Smith and all that. They all averaged 200 plus, right? They all averaged 220, 220-ish, 230, 240, which puts them either closing in on 4,000 a year. Even back then, they was closing in on 4,000 a year. Just keep that in mind also while we keep going down some of these lists. So now we get to, this is 2001 to 2010. Basically, our childhood essentially.
Right.
So some of these names might look even more familiar to you. And we can start at the top. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Favre, McNabb, Breeze, Hasselbeck, Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Jake Delhomme, Phillip Rivers, Jake Plummer, Jeff Garcia, Steve McNair, Trent Green, Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, Chad Pennington, Mark Bolger. Drew Bledsoe is still on here.
Dante
Still on this
Culpepper
list.
on there.
Culpepper, Jason Campbell made the list. Like Jay Cutler, there.
That
Aaron
Matt Cass. I thought that was Matt Cass. So I was about to say what?
Now, if I put this list at yards per game, everybody over 223. So Roethlisberger and up here, you're closing in on 4,000 yards a year.
Shit, even at who's that? Shit, you can even go. Who was that? Brooks.
Aaron Brooks, yeah.
You can probably even go there. 220.
220, yeah. Because what, 220? Let's see. I think that's like 3,600, something like that. 220 times 16. It's 3520.
Yeah, he won a MVP with that.
Now, hey, that's why I say keep these this
Like, what do you mean?
3,500 and up thing in mind. All right. So then we get to what I look at is this is basically this is the golden era, right?
Right.
So even if we go back and we look at this, we talking about the cutoff here is what you want to make go down to Eli.
Right.
But if you call
Because
Aaron Brooks,
Elon,
let's say Aaron Brooks, like you said, 220, right? That's 15. That's 15
mm-hmm.
guys in this 8-9 year span that were
What
throwing
got
close to 4,000 and
3,500 to 4,000?
Let's see, quarterback rating. Yeah, 1585. That's the cutoff I did on the other list I was doing, but it kind of made it weird. But like 85, like quarterback rating is basically just regular. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you did pretty
Where you
good.
see rating at?
Oh, is it not on the screen? Oh, okay, that's why. Hold on. My bad. But yeah, quarterback rating here, it's basically the same guys if you in
Yeah, I
order,
mean,
like
so basically everybody was average all the way up to Steve McNair.
pretty much, yeah.
So everybody was serviceable.
Service will be at 85 and down is like you can be a starter. 85 and up is like you're good, right?
Right.
And now even if I go back and we look at some of these, the ratings just go up and up every era. Because if you look here, it's like, okay, if we do that, Warren Moon is where we cut the line off at. His is 80, so that's even lower.
Right.
So the bar is lower, but that goes to they threw the ball way more. But let's just keep going. So now this to me, that's the golden era, and we have 15 guys who are closing in on 4,000 yards a year with 85 plus passer rating. Okay, now we get to. Oh no, that's not the golden. This is the golden era one. Excuse me, we didn't even go to it yet. So now if we list this off, look, we can't even get this is 27. Alex Smith is the cutoff then. If we use the same
At
cutoff
220.
at 220, we talk 26 guys in this era. And if you look, what is it? What is it? It's all guys that started for a long time. All these guys have 50. We talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of experience
Yeah.
straight. And they all have.
And this is
this is 2011 to 2018.
Yeah.
And so, okay, let's go look at the rating. We just compared all this stuff. Let's look at the ratings and see what it looks like. Okay.
Yeah.
Where does 85 start at?
It should be.
So we making
Case Keenum.
Yes. So 25 guys. But you see what I'm saying now? Where it's like, oh shit.
And Ryan Fitzpatrick even was serviceable.
Was pretty good. So, but 85 and
Joe
down.
Flacco won a Super Bowl.
But like
Blake Bortles went to the AFC Championship.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he only played what? He started only about
4 or 5 years. I think that's 73 games. So he started for almost 6 years. But I brought this point up because I was saying, I want you to think about this. In Blake Bortles, what, 6th year then? No, 5th year, because 14 to 18. So he played for 5 years. So in his 5th year, they said, you are not good. We are going to cut you. And he never played football again.
And that's because they actually signed him a fat contract after that AFC Championship.
Yes, they were stuck with it.
And then they were stuck with it for a couple more years.
Now think about that, right? 5 years. They cut him and he never played again, right?
Right. He backed up a few times, but other than that, nah.
What year did Daniel Jones get drafted?
What year is it?
It's 2023 going into 2024.
2020, I think.
2019 is when he got drafted. This would be his 5th year. And he just got a contract. He just got his contract last year.
And he just robbed them too.
Is Blake Bortles, is Daniel Jones better than Blake Bortles? Like that's where when you look at this, bro, look, okay, so let's go back to how
is Daniel Jones better than Blake Bortles? That'd be a good question.
Let's go back to the 4,000 yards.
TikTok
right?
That.
Right. Let's go back to the 4,000 yards thing because I feel like that's the real sticking point here. 190 yards per game is just over 3,000. So when you get to 225, you're closing in on 4,000. There's 25 guys basically who for 10 years averaged closing in on 4,000 yards every season, even if they didn't start. This is just how good they were. And look at the names. Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, Carson Palmer, Andrew Luck, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Eli Manning, Tony Romo, Jameis Winston, Joe Flacco, Derek Carr, Sam Bradford, Blake Bortles, Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Jay Cutler, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith. I'll skip over Case Keenum to give Alex Smith a little respect. But that's most of the league was throwing for 4,000 yards. But you know how crazy that is? How many people do you think threw for 4,000 yards last year?
We'll probably say 7. 4,000?
4,000.
No. Oh. I know Burrow did, Mahomes did, Allen did, Kirk Cousins did. Stafford and Goff.
So let's do this too. So 220, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm dumb. I keep.
And Prescott, yeah, Prescott.
So we said
7.
So we said 225 times 16 was 3,600 yards. I'm putting you in the group. That's if you was closing in on 4,000 yards. Let's do 3,600 divided by 17, because that's what it is now. Now you only need to average 211 yards to get to 4,000.
Well,
for the
everybody
past
in
2
the
years.
golden era did it.
Now let's look at this list. 20 people. And if we go back and do the same thing, so this is the last 4 years, from 2019.
This all the way down to Baker.
That's it. So from 2019 to now, this is these niggas' averages. And we have
Tom Brady don't count because he's been in all eras.
We have 7 less quarterbacks. And then if you take out, and you got to think some of these guys are in the other list. These are the veterans. So you talking about Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson. Let me count that again. So Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson is 5. So we take those 5 out. Now we're talking about 10 other people besides people that were literally played most of their career in the era before this one. So we're talking about 10 guys. We're talking about Pat, Herbert, Dak, Burrow, Goff, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray.
Josh Allen,
yeah. Hold on, Josh Allen's not on this?
Yeah, he right there. You skipped. That's what I said.
Oh, yeah, okay. I skipped over him. Yep. So that's like, when I looked at some of this shit, I was like, wait, so you mean to tell me, now granted, all those people from Kyler Murray up are like, yeah, they're like well above averaging 4,000 for this era, right?
Right.
Because 240, you close, you on 17, is 4,000.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, okay. I'm not tripping. Yeah.
Pat almost averaged 300.
Yes, which is almost
5,000.
Yeah, it's almost 5. I think 280, something like that, is when you closing in on 5,000 every year. Now that's so that was my point, was the top of the top is excelling. Yeah, is excelling at a far higher rate than any of the quarterbacks ever have. But then you start going down and you realize, okay, 10 years in 2013 through 17, that list of guys was 25, almost 20 guys long it's 25 guys long of serviceable starting quarterbacks that were good, like were solid to good.
Yeah.
Now we have a list of, because if you take the old guys out, because Matt Ryan's gone, Tom Brady is gone, Matthew Stafford has a couple years left, right? Aaron Rodgers is almost done. Like he has a year to
Yeah.
left. When you look at Ryan Tannehill's on
Cur-
here, Carson Wentz is on this list, Jimmy Garoppolo's on this list. When we really start breaking it down, there's 9 guys. We talking about 10 guys that are solid to great. From
Yeah.
from Baker to Mahomes is really only 10, 11 guys versus
Baker ain't
20.
even. Would
Exactly.
you even call Baker solid? You just
He's like the very he's like holding on by his pinky for to be solid. He would love to be
he's
considered solid.
called a filler quarterback, as in like we didn't get one in the draft. We can't get
Yeah.
nobody in free agency. Let's call Baker. Like
Yes. Now, here's the last one that I'll give, and we can go to picks and get out of here because I think it's been about an hour and a half or so. We're probably over that now. But so, and I don't have the list, so let me switch back to the camera so I can. Did I switch? I can't even see.
Yep, you did.
Okay, bet. So let me go through this. This is a every 5-year thing. 2023, that same shit we was just talking about, right? 85. Mm-hmm. So floating around 85, floating around 220. For Desmond Ridder right now is at an 84 passer rating and 212 yards. That puts him 20th. So just keep those numbers in mind. At 20th, 22nd in passer rating for 84, which we were saying you're in that serviceable.
Right.
You're just below being solid. You're not quite a solid starter. That's 22nd. 212 passing yards a game, that's 20th. Alex Smith in 2018, the year he broke his leg when he was doing really good with Washington it was 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
He was at 85 passer rating, 85.7. That was 27th in the league at the time. And 218 yards per game put him at also 27th in the league in 2018. So Alex Smith, being just serviceable old Alex Smith, made him a bottom 5 quarterback in the league. In 2013, Mike Glennon had an 84 passer rating. He started all 16 games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, Mike Glennon, Lord.
An 84 passer rating put him at 21st, so roughly the same. A 200 passing yards per game put him at 30th. Now here's when the other shit starts to get sketchy. But I say that to say right now that's Daniel Jones, right?
Yeah.
And people are talking about Daniel Jones. Last year we was asking if he was a franchise quarterback.
They paid him like one.
People were saying he was in the top half of the league. We was talking about Daniel Jones like
Greg
he was in
Jennings.
The top half of the top 10. That was this year.
Greg
Jennings was calling Daniel Jones a top 10 quarterback coming into the year. Like, come on. And he got the same numbers as Mike Glennon in 2013. But let's keep going. 2008, Eli Manning had an 86 passer rating. That put him at 14th at the time.
That man had a number 1 defense that year.
With 202 yards per game at 20th. And you want another kicker to this? He made the damn Pro Bowl.
Eli Manning
with that made the Pro Bowl with the 14th passer rating mid and 200 yards a game below mid. So 2003, 5 years before that, McNabb had a 79 passer rating. That put him at 16th, and he averaged 200 yards a game. That put him at 18th, and he made the damn Pro Bowl. And I say all this because I think we're back in this version of stuff. The fucking early 90s to the mid 2000s of just, hey, there's fucking 7 guys.
Everybody else is just...
Everybody else fucking trash.
I mean, yeah, because it's just like when you think... I mean, it got to be 3, and then if people get hurt or don't want to go, then other people get the nod because it's just like shit.
Think about this shit, bro. So I said I use these to point out the fact that if Alex Smith, would you rather have Alex Smith in that Washington year or Desmond Ridder?
Alex Smith in the Washington year.
Alex Smith in Washington year was a bottom 5 fucking quarterback. Right now, Desmond Ritter numbers through 8 weeks is in just above the
I
middle
don't
or just
care.
under the middle.
Well, our test wise, Alex Smith
Of
that
course,
Washington years.
I'm with you. That's my point. Like that's where it gets weird. Like all this gets weird. Like where you're just like, I don't know. I just had too many numbers and everything, but all I know is that 2013 to 2018, that 5 year stretch, I think that's the best stretch of quarterbacks that
No, that
we've
definitely was
ever
like
seen. We had I don't think, but we didn't understand that shit, bro. Like I graduated in 12 and I didn't understand that what we was watching was the gonna like you don't think about it that way coming up, but it really
like
was.
we
The league
like
was
we
20
like
deep.
we didn't see like we're not gonna see the Jets and other teams go through three franchise quarterbacks before they
Yes.
decide. Like we might actually have four Super Bowls before another team realize they got to draft another fucking quarterback.
If you
Like
think about it back then in that era, like in any given year, there were maybe 4 or 5 teams that was really like, we have to get a new quarterback right now. How many teams do you think that is now? It's a lot, right?
yeah, I mean, I feel like next year a team might pull the plug on Trey Lance and just try him out next year just for the shits and giggles. Like they might take the contract, and now we're gonna be talking about like. So I mean,
Let's play a game again. Let's play. This is a different. This ain't the contract game like we did last time. This one to pair along with that little quarterback errors thing that I just went through is going to be a within the next 2 to 3 years. Damn, where is this shit
are
at?
they gonna be starting?
No, does their team look for a new quarterback? And I'll just name the quarterback instead of doing the teams. I'll just name the quarterback, and we'll both say yes or no whether or
You
not
said two
within
to
the
three
next
years.
within the next is this guy a long term solution or does their team
Yeah.
move on from them soon?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start. Lamar Jackson. I
Oh,
say
he's staying.
he's staying. Well, how are we going to do this? Yes, they moving on, or no, they not moving on.
Right.
So no, they not moving on from Lamar
No,
Jackson.
no, 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 no.
Okay, yeah,
They just signed this man to like a 5-6 year deal too. Like,
man. So okay, let's go down the list. Josh Allen. I say no.
no,
Joe Burrow. Hell no.
no,
Deshaun Watson.
yes.
Probably, yeah. Well, his contract, I don't know if they can, but yes, they probably are.
Well, it's all guaranteed regardless.
Yeah,
So
I guess yes. So
if he
yes.
stayed, they lose the money. They might as well just wipe that up. He out
So
of there.
yes. Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
CJ Stroud, no.
No.
Anthony Richardson, no, that doesn't count.
No.
Trevor Lawrence, no.
No.
Patrick Mahomes, hell no.
Come on now.
Aiden O'Connell,
I
yeah.
don't. Yeah. I mean,
I say
yeah, because
yeah.
I just don't think he's going to be good. Like
He
it's
not
just
he no, I don't no, he's not finna just keep them from looking for a new quarterback.
right. Yeah.
Herbert,
They.
that's the tough one. I
I'm gonna
say
say
no,
no.
they not moving on
They
from
gonna
him the
sign
next
him.
couple of years. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they gonna sign.
He
I
just
don't
signed his
know. They.
contract for like 5 years. He's not going
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah, sure.
Tua,
No, I don't think they do.
I'm
No, he gonna get a contract after this year.
yeah, because he ain't got hurt yet. Let me not gonna win. So
Yeah.
no. Mac Jones, yes.
Oh yeah. They should have been
Yeah.
going on him a minute ago.
Zach Wilson, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they
They
already kind
already
of moved on
did.
from
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So yeah,
just
okay.
like they did already.
Kenny Pickett,
Yeah, I think yeah. I think if they're because he's still on his French. I mean his rookie
yeah, his
deal.
rookie. So yeah, I'll say yes
So
because
if they
he'll
find
get
it,
he'll get a couple more years. You're right. He'll
yeah,
just get a
but
couple more years off
it's
the
gonna be
strength.
another quarterback that comes out and they're gonna be like, he's definitely better than Kenny Pickett. We're not gonna get this man $50 million.
The only
Like,
reason I would say no is because he's literally from Pittsburgh, went to Pittsburgh University. So that's the only thing that's keeping it like
what?
maybe
Okay,
they
well,
just do him a
hopefully,
solid.
well, maybe he ain't never been a backup in Pittsburgh. Let's try that
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Like,
So okay. So Will Levis.
I don't know. We gotta wait and see
That's a
that one
yeah.
out.
Okay, so we'll just. I'm not
We
counting it.
gotta wait and see that. I mean, but Malik Willis, yeah, like
Yeah, Heineke Ritter combo is a yes. Like y'all got to
yes,
move on.
that
This one's tough.
those glorified backups.
Kyler
Dobbs,
Murray.
yeah, they moving from him.
Oh, I'll side with you. Bryce Young, you can't. You literally just don't get to right now. You just drafted him. You
You
don't get
yeah,
to
you
do that.
just but shit. Tell Arizona that who drafted Rosen, then went and got Murray the next year.
If he
Like,
bad, if he just stays this bad, that's a good point.
but the thing is, they didn't give that man no line. This
Actually, you know
boy,
what? I'm
he
going
five
yes.
eight.
I'm throwing him in there. I'm saying yes. He's gonna be out of here. Yeah, 5'8", 190. You can't run. You'll probably in 3 years you'll be out of here. By the end of the rookie contract, you're probably done. Okay,
Somebody has signed him though, so it'll be all right.
so Fields Bagent, I say yeah, you're gone.
Who?
Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent,
Oh yeah, both of them is gonna be out
they both gone.
because
Yeah.
he ain't signed yet. Last time Fields ain't signed, right? Oh
Mm-mm.
yeah, he out of there. Somebody gonna sign him though.
So okay, Dak Prescott. I say yes.
Mm.
Yes, they'll move on from him the next 2 to 3 years because his contract is up in next year.
Yes, I think they let him test the waters.
Okay, so Jared Goff,
They got Trey Lance too, so
that's bad.
no,
Okay, I'll give you that. Jordan Love,
yes.
I'm with you. Yeah, I feel bad, but yeah. Matt Stafford, Brian Rippon.
Only because Matt Stafford's gonna be retired. They're not
So
gonna
yeah,
move from him. He's gonna retire from them. Like it's time for him to probably just
so we're gonna say yeah for that.
sweep.
Josh Dobbs / Kirk Cousins. I think, but either way, yeah, y'all moving on from
Yeah,
both of them. Derek Carr, he's not gonna be there 3 years from
he's
now.
gonna be retired.
He's gone. So yes,
He's
they're
gonna be
moving on from
retired.
him. Daniel Jones / Tommy
Yes,
DeVito.
I still ain't. Yes,
Yeah, I'm with you. Daniel Jones, yeah. Stop. We gotta stop doing that. Jalen Hurts, no, they're not moving on from Jalen Hurts. Oh, there's a pause.
oh, what'd you say?
I was about to say you paused on. I said Jalen Hurts, and you just paused like you had to think
Uh,
about it. I was
uh,
like, hold on, what is happening? That Wimby going
no,
crazy. Yeah.
no, it's over. Giannis is going. I don't know if they kicked this man out the. Oh yeah, he got ejected.
Damn.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what he going crazy for? But
Jesus.
yeah, they kicked him out the game.
So Jalen
But
Hurts, yes or no?
no,
Okay. Brock Purdy. I'm gonna say yes. Why you're
I
gonna
was gonna say
three
yeah
years
too.
from now, you don't find any prospect that you think is better than Brock Purdy. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying yeah on that one.
Gino, yeah.
Yeah, I just because Gino's just he seems like one of those quarterbacks that he just needs to go lift another team up
Bro.
and have just like go boost more over there for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like
Baker Mayfield. That's a
if
yeah.
he in the league in 3 years, I'd be surprised.
That's a good yeah,
Like
right. Sam Howell. He's the sketchy one for
yeah,
me.
he's
I
very
would
because he's
I would
second
bet
in the league in passing yards.
I would bet on if I had to bet money, I would say yes, he's
Well,
gone. They'll
yeah.
move on from him, but I wouldn't feel good about it. I wouldn't feel good
Well,
about my money in my pocket.
well, I mean, I think I will. I think I will lean more 70% yes.
Yeah.
So I think I'll feel good about my money, especially if they change coaches because the coach that come
And
in
they done
definitely
changed the
got
owners, they changed the coach.
yeah.
That's a good point. So we'll say yes. We'll
So
put him in the yes because we both lean more towards he's probably not going to be there. I just want to point out that that's 20 teams that we said yes, they'll move on from their quarterback in the next 2 to 3 years for. That's what I kind of mean. It's just like, bro, like if we go back and look through some of those,
but if we say that about other years, we could have been like, yeah, because just how they was just like, it's other players out there that's better.
but
Like,
in
but
but it's like in 2010, which when this little how far does this go down? Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Chad Pennington, Donovan McNabb, Carson Palmer, Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, Jason Campbell, Matt Hasselbeck, Jake Delhomme, Eli Manning, Kyle Orton, John Kitna. So about right there.
John Kitna, Lord, for the
So I
Lions.
guess I guess it's not too much of a stretch. It's just like 14 guys, but still. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm tripping. I went back to the wrong era. Oh yeah. See, but okay. So 2018. You moving on from Drew Brees? No. You moving on from Tom Brady? No. Ben Roethlisberger? They didn't move on from him for 3, 4 more years.
Yeah, but he wasn't the same though.
That's
They
true.
should at
But they
least brought
kept him.
somebody in.
They should have, but that's them doing that is got us in the predicament where we in now, where there's fucking and we said 20, but there's a couple guys where we was like, half of y'all is just because it's y'all first year. It's 3 or 4 of y'all that they just rookies and we don't know yet. So it's less than the 12 that
Yeah,
we
but
actually
in
have.
28, Patrick Mahomes' first year in the league, 2018, that was probably Ben Roethlisberger's last good year, decent year. Like what year?
Yeah.
What was his stats that year? So I was just like, because that next couple
Either
two
way, but
years,
hold
two
on.
years from that year, we whooped their ass in the playoffs.
Even though, even with that, the list we just did, we said there's 20 guys we would move on from in the next
Right.
2 to 3 years. If we take out Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, there was another
CJ
one,
Stroud,
CJ
Bryce Young,
Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
I think we said yeah they'll move on. I said yeah they'll move on from Bryce Young. But if we take it, just take them 4 out. That puts us at 8 people that we don't think are getting moved on from in the next 2 to 3 years. That's pretty bad.
Right.
If I just say Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Stafford, Luck, Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, at the time Derek Carr, Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill, Cam
But the
Newton,
thing about
Russell
it
Wilson,
is,
Alex Smith, we
but
already
with that Phillip Rivers, we could have said no, but the next
you
3 years
could
they
yeah
did move on from him now
that's
because that's when
true.
Herbert came in.
That's true. You're right. A year from then, well, 2 years from then.
Two
So
years from there,
kind
yeah,
of, yeah.
Herbert came in. So
But yeah,
I
so I
mean,
guess
we would have said it back then, but some of them did actually move in there. Some of those players we named did actually decline because who else did you name? Breeze.
yeah. Breeze still
That
played for, I guess.
yeah,
Breeze, they didn't move on from Breeze. He
but he
left.
retired. It's kind of like the
Yeah.
Stafford effect that he retired.
But still,
So
we talking about 8 guys versus maybe 14, half the league, damn near. That's a big difference between one, a fourth of the league
but
versus half of the league has a starting quarterback.
and then in 18, yeah, they did. The Patriots moved on from the Tom
Yeah,
Brady that year.
but they shouldn't have.
Yeah, but they
That
did.
was dumb. You're right. You're right. Either way, I still think I personally think that we are in a bit of a weird era where it's extremely top heavy and
No, it is. It's a top heavy league. That's
the
why they
rest of
talk
the league
about the
is just
same
meh.
6 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's why it's so what Josh Dobbs did the other day is so just like, my God, because it's just like so top heavy. So when you see another quarterback actually play like a
Dude,
quarterback,
solid. Yeah.
it's just like,
It's
oh,
just so
okay.
crazy to think like weird. It's just sad because the point of this is when you watch football on Sundays, you really only got about 6 guys to watch every weekend that are actually like good quarterbacks. And it's way different than it was 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it's just kind of sad to me that the fact that the model of get a rookie quarterback contract on your team and build around them, build the team around that has got us to a point where like there's not a lot of solid veteran talent at quarterback
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
We're just watching subpar, substandard guys go out there and try to compete, and we just have what we thought was parity, but as the season goes along, everything's kind of just evening out to like what I thought in the preseason. Like it might just be Chiefs, Eagles, and the Super Bowl repeat again, just because everything just looked the same, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
just getting weird, man. It's weird, but shit. We've been on here for 2 hours, man. I think that was we good now. We can go ahead and wrap it up. Unless you want to just go, you want to go through picks real fast.
Real with the 2 minute warning.
All right, hold on. Let me get to it. Let's go. Of course, it should start with a slot. All right, Thursday night, Panthers Bears. I really don't care. Bears, fuck it, I don't
Yeah,
care.
Bears. Yeah, I don't either. Like, I was like, that was yeah.
Colts at the Patriots. I say Colts because their running game is
Colts, yeah.
crazy. They run the ball. They've been running the ball great. Patriots.
Going Patriots suck.
Mac Jones gonna throw a
But
pick, lose the game.
pick six.
Texans at Bengals. This is probably one of the couple of good games that are this weekend. Bengals. They
I'm going
should win. There's
Bengals.
no reason for them to lose this game. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
and
going Bengals. Yeah.
okay,
The
so
Bengals lose this game, then
that's
the
crazy.
Texas hype is coming.
It's real, yeah. Saints at Vikings. Josh Dobbs could very easily play better than Derek Carr. I'm just gonna go
Yeah, I'm
Vikings.
going by. Yeah, I would too. I just want to see Josh Dobbs just like do good for some reason.
No, I get
I
it.
don't
It's a
know.
good story. Good story. Packers at Steelers. This is one of those weird games.
Steelers.
Steelers should win. They should. I'm gonna
They
go
should, so
Steelers.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
No reason for them not to.
This is a
Titans.
trap week for betting.
Oh, it's horrible. Titans at Buccaneers.
Oh, Titans. I'm going Titans.
I'm going Buccaneers.
I think Will Levis throws about 305, 3 touchdowns and a pick.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm going Bucks. I think they shut them down. They're 0-4 in away games. Does that make you feel good? The Titans.
No, it does not. I didn't actually know that either. So
I just seen that just now. I was like, let me throw that out there. Okay. One of the other good games this weekend. Niners at Jags. I'm going for Niners. They have to bounce back. They cannot lose 4 straight. There's no way they lose 4 straight.
yeah, I might off a bye week too. Yeah, well, Jags had a bye week too, right? Or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got to go Niners off a bye week. They got that defense got a week extra week to rest to come out and knock some heads through. Yeah, I'm just gonna go that way.
Another one of the good games. Browns at Ravens. I'm going sneaky Browns win
Yeah, I
here.
want to see the Browns win, but then I also don't want to see everybody say the Browns might be the best team in the league now.
You're right. That's probably what's going to happen. I think the Browns sneak a win here just because,
Division
Lamar
game, you never
fumbles the
know.
game. Yeah. Lamar fumbles the ball in the fourth quarter and they do something crazy. Myles Garrett has like 5 sacks on Lamar and just goes ridiculous. Falcons at Cardinals.
Don't care.
No, yeah, Falcons should win that.
Yeah,
Both of y'all, both the
Falcons.
teams suck.
Caleb Williams going to the Cardinals, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Lions at Chargers in the 3 o'clock window. Another really good game.
That's because the Chargers could sneaky win that game. But I'm going Lions. Come on, Lions, help us out. Y'all already heard us.
I think the Chargers get the dub because they've been rolling for a couple weeks now.
I wonder what's the point spread on that.
3 is -3 for the Lions.
But that's it.
Yep.
I'll take the +3.
I'm going
I
Chargers.
definitely take the +3 Chargers though.
Yeah, that'd be a good underdog bet to take probably. They just keep it close and then they lose in the last second. All right, Giants at Cowboys.
Cowboys.
They're favored by 16.
I'm definitely taking the +16 though.
I'm not. They got Danny DeVito or whoever the fuck.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, that's right. Danny Jones towards ACL.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito's the quarterback.
Who the fuck is DeVito?
Tyrod Taylor was the backup. He's hurt.
He got hurt. Yeah, I know.
So they're screwed. Commanders at Seahawks. Another weird game. The Seahawks need the win more than the Commanders need the win, but they are at home, so I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah,
they just got their ass beat by the Ravens. They got to make a statement.
It's Seattle -6.
I'll take it.
Ooh, another ugly game. Jets at Raiders for Sunday night football.
I might fall asleep before that game.
This is a pick 'em.
Yeah, I bet. It's probably ain't even no line. It's probably just like coin flip.
It's -0.5 for the Jets.
Why did they do that? They might as well just put even.
It's a pick 'em, babe. That's it. If it's -1, it's a pick 'em. I'm not doing that.
1.5 is a pick 'em. Shit.
Basically, yeah, you're right. But I think the Raiders probably feel better about their season right now, so I'm gonna go Raiders win over the Jets. And they're at home. They're 3-1 at home.
I think the defense just go crazy on Aiden O'Connell after they come back down. They come back down on their high horse. The cigars is unlit now, and they probably they playing a good defense.
Don't sleep on what Max Crosby could do to that line.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
They
But
line trash.
yeah, it is very trash.
Either
And
way.
it's that guard that's supposed to be holding them too, is the one that's the trash one.
So
Not the guard, the tackle.
you taking the Jets? I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll take
Fuck
the
it.
Jets.
Monday
I need
night,
everybody in our division to lose.
another nasty game. The Broncos at Buffalo. Bills got to win this. If they lose this, they season is
The Bills
over
gonna
with
win, but I just need Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton to give me some points.
for
So,
fantasy.
like, I don't care what else y'all do, just y'all do y'all. Like,
Oh, that's funny. Well, all right. That was, I feel like I keep saying this every episode. That might be the longest episode we ever did. So,
and it wasn't even no Chiefs talk.
none. We got,
Now, I
look
mean,
at
we didn't have a
us.
segment. We
Look
didn't have a
at
segment.
us.
We sprinkled
We
it
did a
in there,
little
but we
bit.
never.
Yeah.
But we
Look at
didn't have
us,
like a
man.
30-minute talk about it.
Look at us doing better, man.
Then, and if you didn't know, the Chiefs did beat the Dolphins, top
Yes.
defense in the league. We
Best
just
defense in
throw
the
that in there
league,
before we
best quarterback
leave.
in the league, just top of the AFC. Yeah,
Yeah, same Chiefs.
same
Sometimes you
old,
don't need
same
to talk
old.
about what's already known.
Yeah,
Like,
the inevitable. It's
yeah.
whatever. But look at us growth. That's what you call growth. We
This
didn't
is super
spend
gross.
35 minutes on the Chiefs this week, man. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, subscribe, yada, 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 all that good mess. And we are out of here. See you later.
Yes, sir.